How's it going, everybody? Nathaniel from RCInsight here. Happy Chinese New Year, and in honor of Chinese New Year, today I'm reviewing LEGO set 80104, The Lion Dance. This is one of the 2020 Lunar New Year's sets to celebrate the Year of the Rat. It is no longer available. It is discontinued. Sold out on lego.com, but you might be able to still find it kicking around at select stores if you try. When it was available, it retailed for $110 Canadian and I think $90 US or something like that. The set comes with 882 pieces and 8 minifigures, as well as 5 lions for the aptly named Lion Dance. So, as always, let's first take a look at the minifigures. So, taking a look at the minifigures, we're going to start off with my personal favorite, not because it's really anything that special, but this rat headpiece really just makes my day and makes this minifigure. I think it's adorable. As for the minifigure itself, you can see he's just got the smiley face, and he does have a two-sided face at the back there, the alternate face print with that really pucker-looking face. I've never really understood it, but it is a face. I can tell you that much. He's also got this like vase slash... I mean, it could be supposed to be a lantern, I suppose, that he's holding in his hand, which is kind of cool, a nice printed piece. And then as for the torso print, I'm sure it is not necessarily a set exclusive, but exclusive to the Chinese New Year kind of theme line. It's actually not a super interesting or detailed torso print, but it's red, so I like that with that kind of like gold accenting, so it is kind of a cool look. I really appreciate here that there is leg printing. I think it really brings the whole thing together and looks great. And so, yeah, this is my favorite minifigure just because of the rat headpiece, but nonetheless, when you look at him like this, I think that he is just adorable. Next up, we have our grandpa minifigure. He is an arts guy. He's got the paintbrush in his hand. Very common hairpiece in that gray color to show his age. No two-sided face here. I really like the face print as well with the glasses and kind of the gray mustache. And then he has, obviously, the scarf just sitting around his neck here. And a very plain kind of torso print that I think has been around for a long time. Nothing on the back, just black. And then he's got that button-up shirt with the tie behind it. It's often used, I've seen, as like a bus driver, a train conductor in LEGO City. It's a torso print that's been around for a long time, and just plain back plants, so nothing too special here, but I think this is also a minifigure that I like. Then we have this guy. Don't know exactly what he is. I think it's supposed to be cabbage in his hand, but it's actually a green headpiece and then a green hairpiece, and I'm surprised they couldn't like make a cabbage piece. Otherwise, I have no idea what the heck it's supposed to be because it looks freaking weird. I can tell you that much. As for his prints, he's got another standard hairpiece here, one that I've seen quite a bit. And you flip it around, he does have a double-sided face, so the back side is this kind of scared, terrified face look. And then if you flip it back around to the front, he just got this classic casual smirk. He does have a torso with arm prints that are a different color than the main torso, which I really like. And I really like actually the pattern of the like dragons on the torso here in that gold reflective color, and that does not carry around to the back, unfortunately. You just kind of see the rolls on the shirt and the belt going around. He does have some printing on the legs here, which I would normally appreciate more, but that same leg print is used for all the lions, so it's very, very standard. Now, I know that it's supposed to insinuate that there actually are, of course, people inside the lion costumes manipulating them and dancing them, so it makes sense. So I suppose you could say that he's one of the lion dancers. He's just not on duty, but normally I'd be fawning over the torso. Normally I'd be fawning over the leg print, but we just get it so much in this set, it doesn't really feel anything special to me. Next, we have one of our 2 female minifigures with this set. She has a very cool hairpiece. I really like the kind of ponytail that kind of sticks out the top here, and no double-sided face for her. Her front print is a very classic woman smiley face. We've seen it for ages. She also has arms that are a different color than her torso, which is nice. Again, I like the torso print. It's the exact same, though, as the last one, just in white as opposed to red. But I love this gold design that's more prominent here on the white torso. You can see it much better than on the red torso. And same thing, you flip around to the back. Exactly the same, just in white instead of red. And same thing with the legs. Same leg print. just in gold, which again we get on the gold lion, so it's not anything super special because we get it a bunch in this set. Our other female minifigure in this set is very similar. She has 2 rockets in her hands. Again, a nice hairpiece that I haven't really seen a lot of, with a pretty normal looking ponytail at the back, but then this kind of blob of hair at the front that I think is pretty cool. Exact same torso print again, so we don't need to go over that. And her leg print is slightly different. It is the white variation of the last 2 leg prints, and again, it comes in this set on the white dragons. Then lastly here, we have our 3 band guys, and I hold them all in my hands awkwardly at once for one reason, and that is because they all have the exact same torso prints. So I'm going to gloss over that as I go through each of them one by one and just talk about their face prints. So looking at our first one here, as I mentioned, they all have the same torso and leg prints, so I'm just going to go over that once here. Taking a look at this guy, he's got that bandana headpiece, no 2-sided face, but this bandana headpiece, they all have it. Same thing with this red robe with kind of the black coming down and tying directly into the leg print here, which is nice that it ties in directly, but just a little bit of that dragon printing on the front, and basically just plain red printing on the back, so not too special. Same thing with the arms being a different color than the torso piece. So it is a nice print, but to get it 3 times is not really that great to me. It feels a little like they could have done something to spice that up. And again, a pretty standard classic smiley face on this guy. So our next guy is the drummer, the main drummer, and again, exact same thing. No 2-sided face here, and the main face print is one that's been around, probably one of the first just plain smiley faces that I can remember seeing with the smiley face, but then just the glass is added. Really, again, nothing special here in terms of face print, and a repetition of the torso and leg prints. So this minifigure really isn't that interesting. And then the last minifigure for this set, and the last of our band minifigures, this is our cymbal player. And again, same torso and head prints. I do appreciate, no double-sided face again, but I do appreciate his face print a little bit more. It's a little more original than the last 2, with that kind of half smile and off-kilter eyebrows, almost like he's kind of winking at someone a little bit. So I do like the face print more here, but the rest of him is the same. This is the best of these 3 music-related minifigures, though, for sure. Like I said, I do like the torso print, so he's my favorite because outside of the torso print, he's got the most going on, and I love these cymbal pieces, even though they're literally just the little dish pieces. But anyway, still think they're cool, and I love the shimmery gold effect, so favorite of these band minifigures. So moving on to the builds in this set, first, I'm going to start by taking a look at the lions, and I have all of them laid out here because they are all essentially built the same. So I'll pull up the red one here. They come in 3 different colors. You have the red, you have the gold and the gold/yellow, and then the one white. And they're all basically identical in build. The head pieces are all built the same, with the jaw that moves and the head that moves up and down, tail that moves up and down, and the main body is also designed the same. They all have minifigure legs to prop them up. First off, I'd like to mention that these pieces along the side here are printed pieces. In fact, there are no stickers for this set. Everything is a printed piece. So these along the side, the mouth here, the teeth at the bottom there are printed pieces. Whatever this thing is on his head is a printed piece. The eyes are printed pieces. They are all printed, which is really nice. And so the only thing that really varies from lion to lion is the colors of certain elements of these. So for example, you have this banana piece over the eye here to create an eyebrow, and that is in white printed here. Same thing with the frogs here are printed in white, and you have all these modified tiles here with the clips on them as white. And then if I were to flip it to the gold one, for example, you'll see now the little nostrils are gold as opposed to yellow, so there's a subtle difference there. You notice that the banana pieces are actually yellow. They're the proper color. The frogs are yellow. For example, you have these little leaf foliage pieces down here now as well, and they are in the gold color, and you have gold legs. And so just subtle differences like that, but the design on all these is the same. You also have the addition of these little chin hairs on both the yellow dragons and the white dragon. Those are your lions overall. Like I said, all printed pieces. A little repetitive to build them for sure. It definitely gets repetitive when you are on to, your fifth one, but they look so cool and I love them so much. They're really creative builds and they're the right size and they look awesome. So I can look past the repetitiveness of building them because they are just so cool and the 5 of them really make this set. So the next build we'll take a look at here is the platform for the lions to dance around on. And so this is a pretty simple build, just with some small detailing here, like the railing pieces down here to create the square pattern. You've got these little cone pieces that stick up that I think will look really cool. And then you just have a bunch of poles for the lions to climb up on and dance on. So really easy, small, compact build to make. And it doesn't look great by itself, but when you add the lions on, it does look a little bit better. I just want to draw your attention to really quick how this is actually built here, because I do think it's really cool how they designed this. And so you can see by the bottom how it was laid out to create this effect where it's square and then diagonal and then square again. I think it was really neat how they did that. And so it was actually kind of cool to build this, but it doesn't look that special for what it's worth. It was a cool building style, but it doesn't really pop out at you that much. And like I said, you really need the lions on here to fully appreciate this. So just so you can see what it's like with the lions on, it definitely gives it some more character and more feel. It feels more full and very true to real life. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, but lion dances really are like this. And so I appreciate the attention to detail and how realistic they were going for. And when you put the lions up here, it looks great. But it needs the lions, and this whole set needs the lions, and the build by itself, to me, is only okay. So next we have our little live musicians here. This is a really small build, and I think it's really cute, but ultimately not that special. Obviously, any traditional lion dance festival needs the live music and the entertainment. The drums, the cymbals are all a part of the atmosphere. Particularly the drums are classic, and I really like how they did this drum piece here. Just using a little tire piece to make the drums, and then a little stand there. A nice usage of a hot dog piece in that gold color. The main drummer guy here is on a bit of a swivel, and he's got 2 drumsticks in his hands. We also have this guy over here who's got like a pot that's hanging that he's just clanging with his stick as well. And then our third guy over here has 2 cymbals in his hands that he can crash together. It's literally just on an angled plate, which is like an 8x8, I believe. So it's really small, but it's a cool build nonetheless. But like I said, small and not something that I'm in love with. I think it, again, complements everything when it's all together, but just in this set and by itself, it's nothing super special. And then the last build we have here is the temple build. I don't have a lot to say about this, honestly. It looks a lot smaller once you build it than it does on the box. I really like the usage of these printed tile mosaic pieces under here, under the canopy of the roof, to create a really cool pattern. That's a really nice touch. But overall, I mean, this entire structure is basically supported by a bunch of modified 2x2 circular bricks. That just go all the way up. The base and the detailing at the base is not that interesting, and it's not nearly as big or as beautiful as I was expecting. The usage of these, what I called gold bar pieces, because that's the first way I saw them used, but these modified 1x2 tile pieces in the orange, as well as these pieces along here on the roof to kind of create that classic clay roof feel that you expect from kind of Chinese architecture, and then also the usage of the frog pieces to kind of accent the corners of the roof, I think are really nice. The roof just clips in, obviously, as it's on an angle, so it just, I'm not going to show it because it doesn't come on and off easy, but you build the roof piece separately and then you clip it onto the main build. There's also a nice usage of these teal bricks here for that accent, that kind of supporting accent around the arches there, or cross beams, I guess. But other than that, I don't have too much to say about even this build. Everything in this set is cool, but nothing is standout to me. That's kind of the recurring theme of this set. One last thing that's worth noting is there is this little stud on the top, and that is so if you so desire, you can fit your rat minifigure on the roof, or anyone else for that matter. Anyone can fit on the roof, but if you want to, it's just a stud that you can lock a minifigure onto the roof. And he's not on the roof in the box, but in the instruction books, they do have him on the roof. So there's that. So quickly, I'm going to take a look at the box and the instruction books, and then we'll move on to my final thoughts on this set. So this set does come with just one instruction book, and that is something that I really appreciate about it. It's got the hard spine, which I love the hard spined instruction books. They're my favorite. I wish they were all like this classic kind of square instruction book here. And I'm just really appreciative of the fact that despite there was many builds, they could have done 2 or 3 different instruction books. They chose to just go with one. And so I'm really a fan of that decision. I think it really benefits it overall. The more compact you can have, the less instruction books you can have, the better, in my opinion. And so I'm really glad about that. But other than that, there's not really much to talk about here. I believe at the back here, there is a picture of both the Chinese New Year Temple Fair and this lion dance set put together. And so you can see how they look when they go together. And it is a much more full, better looking kind of conglomeration of items than just on its own. And so that is why I say that these 2 sets really need to go together. You can see it there. But other than that, that is it for the instruction book. As for the box here, you've got just that kind of classic, real, perfectly square box size going on here. Not a typical, $100 plus box size, not a typical nearly 1,000 piece box size, but I do actually really like how it is square. You just have the set displayed on the front, and then you also have kind of the Spring Festival, Chinese Festival Special Edition sticker in the top corner there to tell you that this is for Chinese New Year. And then also, because this was Year of the Rat, you have the rat on the box as well. On the top, you have all the minifigures there laid out. And then flipping it around to the back, you kind of get some illustrations on the mobility of how the dragons work, and then just some images of this set kind of in action from some various angles. So some nice views of different features and design elements back here, but nothing too special about this box. So overall, how do I feel about this set? I think it's good. I don't think it's great. I love the lions here. I think they look gorgeous and adorable, and they look better in person than they do on the box or even on video. I think in person, in a display, they look really, really cool, and I am going to be giving you guys a tour of my current Chinese New Year setup display for Chinese New Year. So that video will be out today along with this one, and I'll leave a link to it down in the description so you can see my Chinese New Year setup and how well the lions integrate. But the set as a whole, at least as a standalone, does not work well. When you combine it with the Temple Fair set from last year, then it works. It works then. The 2 really are meant to go together. Not all the Lunar New Year sets are meant to go together, but those 2 in particular are. For example, the 2 from this year, the Spring Lantern Festival and the Story of Neon, they're totally disconnected. They integrate into a display for Chinese New Year well either way, but in particular, the Lion Dance and the Temple Fair, they really do need to go together. And so, unfortunately, for that reason, on this set on its own, I don't love it. I like all the individual builds, but nothing really stands out to me. The lions look great, but it was a little repetitive to build. The stage and the poles that they're standing on, while accurate to real life, it's just pretty boring. Again, in the context of a greater display, it works. Just by itself in this set, it's almost as big as the temple gate itself, and I just don't think that works. And that's the other thing, is this set by itself, it's not a temple gate, it's actually a temple. And when you put it all together, it is in fact just like the temple gate or just the gate into the square. In this set, it becomes the centerpiece, and it's a small build. It doesn't really have a lot going for it. And even just the drummers, I mean, it's a cool little display, but again, it's small. And so overall, I just feel like this set as a whole kind of feels like it's lacking a little bit. But the biggest letdown to me is the temple gate, and the size and the detailing there just feels like it's lacking ever so slightly. And so for all those reasons, I can't say I love this set. On top of that, the minifigure selection here, well, decidedly Asian, and I appreciate that. It feels much more Eastern influenced than this year's Spring Lantern Festival does in terms of minifigure selection. These minifigures do feel genuinely Eastern. They do feel genuinely Asian. And so I really appreciate that. Even the minifigures here, there's a bit too much repetition amongst some of them for my liking, and nothing super special aside from the mouse minifigure, which is obviously adorable. And so overall, guys, I think this is only an okay set. If you're looking to collect all the Chinese New Year related sets and create a Chinese New Year display, then this is critical to that. I think it looks fantastic in a display. And likewise, if you are planning on getting the Temple Fair, then you should get this to go along with it, because those two sets complement each other brilliantly and just by themselves would make a phenomenal display. You don't even have to add the other Chinese New Year sets in if you don't want. You don't have to add. There was several last year. There's only 2 this year, but there was a lot last year. And if you have a real affinity for Asian culture like I do, get this set. But otherwise, if you just saw it and you think, oh, it looks cool because the box, you're not really into it, you're not planning on creating a Chinese New Year display, I would pass on it. There's better options. The Spring Lantern Festival is a gorgeous set, as is the Temple Fair set. Even the something like the Ninjago City Gardens, I know that's much bigger than this set, but very Asian influenced, feels a lot nicer than this. And so overall, I don't love this, but if you're a collector, it's probably a good piece to pick up. I'm glad I have it, but I wouldn't have gone out of my way to buy it, and I certainly would not buy it on the resale market for way more than it is worth. So that's my thoughts on the Lion Dance set, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you own this set? Do you like it? Is it something that you would want to buy? I don't know. Are you big fans of Chinese New Year? Happy Chinese New Year to those of you who are watching this. But anyway, yeah, that's my review, guys. Click the like button down below if you liked it to just show some of your support. Subscribe if you are looking for more videos like this. Reviews, LEGO news videos, speed builds, overviews of my various displays and collections, all that sort of stuff. If you're interested in it, particularly the news side of things, subscribe so that you can see those videos as soon as they come out, because I cover news right away. And with all that said, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.